Take it away. I don't even know what's going on right now.
I don't
I have
either.
no idea. We have no plan. If you're watching this, you're about to figure out what's going on because I have no idea.
Oh, Jonesy's got a plan.
Oh,
John,
for
you
sure
got a
have a
plan?
plan. Yeah.
Jonesy's got a plan.
He said, "I for sure a man with a plan." Johnsy Stan.
Pretty interesting too.
So yeah, and I believe you brought it up before, boss man. So hopefully you'll be happy with this. So it's like
For the record, I'm not the boss.
I don't know, a lot of years ago, like 1959.
Got a cup. Says it.
Oh yeah, when this happened, yeah, 1959.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
9 skilled trekkers, mostly students
Ooh, this one
from Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by 23-year-old, set off to these mountains. And on the date in question, they were already behind. They were headed towards this pass that was not yet named. So I'm going to do my best to pronounce some of these names. So Yuri Yudin, Semyon Zolotaryov, Nikolai Bringnoel, that's not right, Rustem Solobin, Alexander Kolikovtov, who Ludmila Dubinia, Yuri Doroshenko.
Wait, are these the real guys?
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Damon.
So
Zinyadia, Kolum Korgrova, and this might give it away, the leader, Igor Dyatlov.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say you crushed that.
Yeah.
First and foremost. I actually met an Igor once, and he was at a car. Before you get into this story, I got it. It was funny that you brought up an Igor because I literally thought of this guy this week and how I really want to talk about this guy on this show at some point in my life. The fact that it happened today already makes me very happy. So there's a dealer group up in Cleveland, and I won't say the dealer. I won't say any names other than his name was Igor. But this is when my boss was with me, who's since retired.
Uh-huh.
And we go up there. You know, when you go to a car lot and you're a vendor, the salesmen just flock your car. They think you're a customer. Like, I've had them just, like, jump outside my window, like, knock on my window, like, hey, how you doing? Like, waving at me and scare the shit out of me. We get out, and this big son of a bitch comes up wearing this tight khaki pants with, like, this small belt buckle, but it had, like, a Brahma bull on it or something like that, or a Viking. And he comes up, and he talked like this. He's like, how can I help you? And I was like, well, we're here to the finance office. And he goes, all right, hang on, I get you. Like, all right. I was like, all right. I'm like, man, they're diversity hiring up here at this store. I'm like, fantastic. Guy goes in, gets us. We go in there. He's like, oh, they come out. He's like, yeah, they ready. Go second door left. You know, he's
You
like,
buy cars, sir.
goes,
Thank you.
He goes, we'll see ya. You know, like every time he would talk, he would like hit you with the clap, snap, point. Yeah, all of it. And
that was his trademark.
And we went back there, and I was like, yo, I'm like, and he goes, hey, my name's Igor. I was like, oh, cool. You know,
no, he said, hello, my name is Igor.
And we go into the finance
and I must break you.
We're just like, yo, Igor. I go in there, I'm like, yo, Igor's fucking cool. And he goes, dude, you know his story? I'm like, no. I'm like, just met him. Like, he hounded us at the lot, walked us up here, got us to you. I'm like, big dude. He's like, dude, Sputnik. Or like, not Sputnik. What's the Russian police force?
Oh, the KGB?
Yeah, he's like
Mhm.
KGB dude, like whatever. He was special
Or
forces.
no, you're
He was special forces.
no, yeah, not KGB. You're talking about the
Begins with an S.
the sprut this.
Yeah.
So close, dude. But yeah,
It's
I get it.
He was on
Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz.
The
Spetnik.
Spetnet. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Sputnik.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like political prisoner roundup task force.
Oh, nice.
Relocated to America, and he tried to be and we got him right off the boat. He was trying to sell cars, like that was the job. And this dude's and I'm just sitting here, and I didn't know much about it, but I get into my boss.
This one deserves a real menthol.
World War, like war history buff guy, and he is like, "Yo," he goes, "Igor's the real fucking deal," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I guarantee that guy's killed a lot of people with his bare hands in his life." He's like, he goes, "I guarantee his coworkers have no idea what they're dealing with." We go back there. He's there the next, like 6 weeks later. We go up there. He's back there, still hanging in there. We're like, Igor. I'm like, well, I'm going to be nice to that guy, And like, he was really cool. And he's like, hey, because obviously Sharp remembered us. We go back next time. We're like, where's Igor? Is he off today? And they're like, nah, he quit. They're like, nah, man. He's like getting paid stupid money to be a bouncer at strip clubs.
Oh, Lord.
Because he was they found out his back, and like I guess he took care of business in a very good way.
Oh, guaranteed.
He ended up being like one of the highest paid bouncers in all of Cleveland. Igor.
Interesting.
Never saw him again. So Igor, I hope you're out there. What's up,
dude? Let's come on the show.
Oh, I'd have so many questions.
Yeah,
I'd have a lot.
That's a Saturday show. That's a Saturday show, bro.
Hey, can you start at 9 a.m. and we'll
wrap dude, if we could actually do like an interview series with someone like that, yes.
I wouldn't even know.
I do know the questions, bro. Yes.
I feel like if you went, I would just have to explain I'd just probably take Alyssa with me. I'd be like, we're going to strip clubs today. She's like, why? I'd be like, looking for a guy named Igor. He probably has his own like.
You don't have to do footwork anymore. It's something called the internet. We'll find it
anyway. But that was
we'll find Igor.
And that is the beautiful thing of the auto industry, folks. It's a beautiful place to work in if you get to dabble in it. You get to see some cool stuff.
1, 2, 3.
Things that you'll never see again in your life. Fact. I've always thought about a memoir. Because down in southern West Virginia, I sold cars in 3 years down in Oxycodone Peak, southern West Virginia. There were some things.
Hey, Anthony Lane.
Yes.
An autobiography. Anthony Lane. The Memoirs of a Former Auto Salesman.
Played by Kevin James.
That is. So I'm so sorry we interrupted. Hey, Johnsy, he's asking for this one.
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh!
I get
dude, my brain lost a little bit of consciousness. I laughed so hard at that one, Damon. That was so epic.
I feel like Jesse James. Sometime to make a name. George Strait.
Was he though?
I'll be a young troubadour.
Damon. Firing shots already, bro. Anyway, so the route.
Yeah.
The route. The hikers set out to reach Mount O'Torton, which means don't go there in the indigenous Mansi language. Their plan took them through an unknown pass, which would later be called D.A.D Pass. So the group was to send a telegram upon their return, but never did. Weeks later, search teams discovered their abandoned campsite, and this is just a brief thing, and then we got some more stuff to get into. The scene of the crime. The tent. Found half buried in snow, slashed open from the inside as if the hikers had fled.
Mm-hmm.
Barefoot tracks leading away from the tent, showing the hikers ran into sub-zero temperatures wearing little to no clothing. And the bodies were found in stages. The first two, Doroshenko and Krivonishenko, were found near a burned-out tree, stripped of their underwear. Three more, Dyatlov, Kormogorova, and Slobodin, were found spread out in the snow, seemingly trying to crawl back to the
Oh
tent.
my God, pictures.
Yes, Damon, you came in so clutch with these.
Hang on,
Thank
I
you,
want to see
sir.
that again. Hang on.
Oh.
So that's the tent.
Hang on, let
Yep.
me maximize screen. I keep forgetting we don't have a chat tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, this is document. I thought this was like a theory.
Oh
No,
bro. No, just wait.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold
Oh,
on.
this is all right. I'm in. I thought this was one of the,
No,
I
this is
thought it
not.
was so far
No.
fetched.
There is a
Theory.
misunderstanding of how they might have died.
So we're gonna get into all that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The last four
Damn it, Igor.
were found deep in a
Igor.
the last four bodies were found in a deep ravine with horrifying injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The unexplicable injuries, some died of hypothermia, but others had severe internal trauma,
Mm-hmm.
fractured skulls, and crushed ribs. No external wounds, as if they were like if they fell and hit a rock or something. It was more as if they were hit by a shockwave and just crushed everything on the inside. One of the people's tongue, eyes, and part of her lips were missing. And the clothing were found to be radioactive.
Dun, dun, dun.
So now, all right, yeah. So you can go. There's a whole site.
So this
Called the-
isn't allegedly. You're simply rereading the facts that were
No.
Mhm.
This is all 100%. They wrote in journals. They had
Mhm.
journals and stuff, and they're all on a website. You can go read. In fact,
the
here we go.
hikers' journals or
Yes, no, the hikers' journals,
They
multiple.
oh,
But at the same time, there was what is it? There was 9 of them that died, correct? But it originally started out as 10. There was 10 hikers to start with,
Yeah, there was
Only
an extra.
and then
No.
he got sick and left the expedition.
Right. Oh yes, forgot about that. Sorry.
during the expedition.
Hmm?
Like they started. He's like he canceled at the start of the expedition.
No, he went, and then he left when he got
left,
sick.
He left the camp before
Right,
all this.
he left the camp and went back to
One of
base
the
or
towns or whatever.
to the towns. Yeah.
Oh, I bet he's glad he did that.
Because that happened. So they're saying between February 1st and February 2nd, and he left camp January the 28th.
Oh, and this is being recorded on the 31st. So happy anniversary!
Yeah. So
and it's getting released on February 1st. Happy anniversary! Yikes.
See how I did that?
I don't know if I like it, but yeah, I see it.
Why don't you like it?
It's a lot of bad voodoo, man. I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm just talking shit. So, and then was there anybody? The thing I saw. So was that the last they saw? You said there was phases. Was there anybody after the ravine? And was it the other report? There was like they survived, but they were just like manically nuts.
No one survived.
No one survived.
no,
Okay.
none. Only one that left. That's the only one.
And what did he say? Anything about lights in the sky or anything different or unusual?
He was never even near the pass that they made it
Mm-mm.
to.
Nope.
Okay, but he didn't see anything weird going on that would like. Yeah, it was kind of creepy. Yeah, no, everything was normal. So what did they end up? So what was the conclusion? I mean, what's? I guess the point of discussion is like, what did everybody come? What did they? Well, obviously, what happened. But like, I guess, well, one question. Okay, yeah, that's the main one. But my question is what did all their research and findings? What was their conclusion to everything?
So,
Hypothermia.
Well, with radioactive. Like, so what are they saying happened, or they're just like we have no idea? Are they just openly saying like we have no clue? Because I mean,
So what they're saying is,
and what year was this?
In 1959.
59.
So this would have been USSR for sure.
So they're also claiming avalanche as well.
Yeah, so forever,
Like, go ahead.
there was like three things. It was either Yeti or cryptid attack, some snowman weird KGB or espionage, some weird infrasound panic theory that the high winds caused hallucinations and panic, and then some weird Soviet secret military tests gone wrong. But in 2019 is what Damon's talking about, which is now like the official explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one? Go ahead, Damon.
No. So what I was going to show was this is what they were saying from the avalanche. This is how their tent was set up and how the avalanche come in and just crush down the tent.
But okay, why was it ripped from the inside?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know.
Because they're trying to get themselves out of it because there was an avalanche. Is that what they're saying?
And so when you look it up, it says very interestingly that has science and Disney proved the avalanche because they use something from Frozen, and it's like, yeah, I'm calling tomfoolery. Sounds like tomfoolery to me.
I guess the one thing that makes like if it was like at the start it went through and cut over it and then like everything collapsed and they had to cut themselves out of the tent. But still, like if they ran, then it doesn't explain the mass confusion
and why lips and tongue and eyes were missing from one person.
And everything was radioactive.
Yeah,
again,
and why
that they originally said. I also think that the testing of war weapons is in play here because you have to understand this was still within 12 years of World War II, where a lot of people that were decision makers in World War II were still very well alive and in their active military careers. And after we nuked everybody, and then the Cold War was going on, all kinds of experiments and stuff. So, like, you could say they had some wild shit that did this, and they were just like, yeah, we can't release that weapon. They just scrap that shit. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Like, it's one thing that we know. It's like you really can't take anything off the table anymore, right?
No, that's what's so wild.
That's not even really being like a conspiracy theorist. That's just being look what they've declassified here recently with or they're going to declassify with like MLK, JFK, RFK, like all the things like they're gonna like. There's just all kinds of new stuff going out there that's getting shown to us. Like anything could be done. You just have to believe what you believe. Do your research. Come up with your own conclusions. Don't be influenced by anybody else. Just be influenced by the information that you have access to. Allegedly. Do your own research. Just write that.
Yeah, because it goes back to saying what you was talking about. The original explanation was, the group woke up in a panic and they cut their way out of the tent, either because of an avalanche had covered the entrance to the tent or because they were scared that an avalanche was imminent. And they were poorly clothed because they were sleeping, and they ran to the woods to get, into the woods to help the snow would slow down once they was in the woods. And they got separated, into 2 to 3 different groups. And a lot of it saying with the burnt hands that, one group had made a fire. And then the clothes got swapped back and forth from some of the dead people already. And then others got caught in the avalanche. But then there was theories, not a theory, but there was evidence shown that there's other expeditions in this area, and nobody else ever reported any avalanche conditions at all. Over 100, right. Matter of fact, over 100 expeditions in the region, and nobody else reported an avalanche condition.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, you could burn your hands if you felt like you heard an avalanche coming. And you like hurry up and get up, and you're just like panicking. And you stick your hands in the fire, But the missing of the tongue and the eyeballs. Yeah. Now, how long were they out there though before they found him dead? Like, is it possible that coyotes came along and ate the eyeballs and the tongue? Yeah,
Why off only one?
Got hung, got full.
No, that just it doesn't make sense. And
I mean, I'm with you. Again, I'm just trying to play. Me. One of us is just. I'm always the guy I'm willing to take the role of maybe, kind of, sort of. Even if it's loose, I'm going to still say it out loud because that's my role.
But here's something even funnier when you dig down to it: is this map that was found of the area and what happened. Because this ain't the only thing that's happened in this one area. But like it says, the folklore, so there was 9 deaths prior to, but it don't give a date to that one. But that's ancient folklore tells of 9 dying. And then now you got the skiers or the trekkers. That was in 59, and then there was a plane crash in 91 that 9 people died. So it's like 9, and there's 9, and there's another 9.
That is wild. Okay, so I see over here whatever was seen in the sky that scared the skiers. So you guys talked about journals. We didn't finish on that. What did the journals say of the skiers or the hikers or whatever that group was?
Oh, that's a lot to go through.
Okay, Cliff, I trust, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, Cliff notes of, like, was there anything suspicious that they wrote of, like, the day before it happened of, like, we're seeing some things, experiencing some things? Was there anything like that?
So on some excerpts from the journals on the day before, or no, this is January 30th. So yeah, how far back you want to start real quick?
Well, if you go back, it starts they leave by train on January 23rd.
Yeah.
So,
but by the time they're in the mountains and stuff.
That's right.
So like January 30th, a couple days before, the guys on duty, again, as punishment for slowing down the group the day before, took their time starting the campfire. Last night we decided to get up and vacate the tent within 8 minutes of the wake-up call, so we all woke up long ago waiting for the signal, but there was none. At 9:30 a.m., We slowly began to rise after breakfast. The group resumed their trek up the Asupie River, their pace once again impeded by ice built on the skis. They continued to move up the riverbank, skiing on the Mansi Trail and stopping to examine the Mansi signs on the trees and a recent encampment site. January 31st. Dyatlov wrote in the group's diary, "Walking is especially hard today. We can't see the trail. We have to grope, like feel our way through at times. Can't do more than 1.5 km, 1 mile an hour. Trying out new ways to clear the path. The first in line drops his backpack, skis forward for 5 minutes, comes back for a 10-15 minute break, then catches up with the group. That's one way to keep laying skis tracks non-stop. Hard on the second hiker, though, who has to follow the new trail with full gear on his back. We build a campfire, scarce."
So it's still like nothing at this point that's like
No, nothing saying there's anything out of the way yet.
ominously bad. Yeah.
Right. There we go.
And the only thing they left on the day of, or February 1st, I got that pulled up here. Hold on, stupid thing. Is like a satire, like a joke they did. It says, and it looks like a what they call it. The original Evening Orton is unknown. Only a typewritten copy remained in the criminal case file. So they prepared a satirical propaganda leaflet, and this is what it looks like right here. So that's it in Russian and then in English.
Oh, science.
The existence of Yeti.
Yeah, existence of Yeti.
Which is that's right where they were headed.
So here's my immediate question. We only got what they released.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's like a science part that mentions Yeti in this and a random February 1st entry.
That's the last entry of anything.
Why?
Doesn't make sense, bro.
Like, why Yeti? Like, why is it so?
Why is any of that? Hold on. Oh, shoot. Let me pull it back up again.
I mean, obviously they did 1959. Jesus Christ, they were able to conceal everything back then.
Well, here's some of the
They didn't have the internet. Everybody fact checked everybody
in their diaries. Though, go ahead, John. You got that one. I was gonna do this while you got that pulled back up. You good?
I mean, why would you put any of that? What does any of that have to do with your hike? Oh,
it just doesn't make sense. So we saw this.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the last thing allegedly, and it's a typed copy of what they had. The original one was like handwritten out, but that's the case file one. Allegedly, the original copy was lost.
I don't think this was theirs.
Smells like a cover-up.
Yeah. There's enough random shit on here to give you a lot of loose ends to go chase to divert you from the issue at hand.
This is some of the pictures they love the last day.
Yeah, rip through those, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a pretty crappy weather day. Okay, hang on. Go back. Listen. Where's all these trees at? Where the tent was?
No, this is like, I mean, prior to whenever. Like I said, this is the last part of the pictures that is available.
They don't say what days. I was going to
No, I
say
don't.
here they're in the woods, and where they found the tent was like tundra.
Yeah.
I remember reading like they said it made no sense for them to make camp where they made tent.
Yep.
Because they were all like super skilled, and where they put this tent was like literally one of the worst places to put the tent.
Yeah.
Because it was out in the middle.
See that back on the move again.
Literally in the middle of the elements.
Yeah, so that's the weather what Jonesy was talking about. Then they couldn't hold.
Okay, that was February 1st. Go back. Okay, hang on. At the top is starting to give.
Yep. So,
Ditilov's group on February 1st on their way to Kotat Sakai. All right, so then next is alleged preparing for tent from their last night alive, and now they're out in the middle of the elements.
mm-hmm.
Jesus, they look miserable at that point, dude. That looks not fun.
I mean, you talking about waist deep snow?
That's not fun.
No, that looks like, oh.
I've been in waist deep snow just snowboarding.
This is a technological shock.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, my bad. Hold on. Oh yeah, it says a technological shot made of the photo lab before the film was taken out of the camera.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing from them.
I don't know, man. It looked like some pretty rough terrain.
They
So,
started out great.
You look at the shittiness of the weather, and it's like, I don't know. They all kind of went. It's weird, but you got that cold weather element you can mix in there too, which causes enough loopholes to make you think like. Because I think as humans, and hear me out, this is a wild theory, not that wild. Probably makes. I'm just now realizing this. We are wired to, if anything doesn't make sense, to immediately discredit the whole situation, right? Like we're even like by the fact it's only
no, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, nah, like if it's far fetched, we somehow don't believe it if it's far fetched. Or if there's like if it is far fetched, if there's one thing like that picture, I was like, oh, the weather's out crappy outside, like that had to have something to do with it. They're probably like, yes, the weather was shitty outside that day. You know, it's just it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
It's just
you want it to make sense, man, but like nothing freaking makes sense ever on anything. It seems that way.
Dude, the other crazy thing, speaking of shit like that, dude, is we could bring it all the way back home.
Yeah.
Do you know how many crazy things like that have happened in America's national parks?
Just all kinds of stuff. And it's like, why at the national parks? Why was that land deemed federal protected land? Whoops.
Huh.
I didn't even think about that until just now. Holy shit.
Interesting.
And you know what president made a lot of the federal lands?
Old Teddy.
One Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
No, it was not. It was Teddy Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Theodore was also a part of treasure hunting at one Curse of Oak Island.
Oh and my gosh.
Well, but he was involved in a lot of Mason work. High Mason. FDR was Teddy was they were all the Roosevelts.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Sounds like the Jackson Fives then.
I don't want to say too much because I'm just like going down to like a little thing, but
Freddie, Teddy, Tito.
Theodore and Franklin were both like high Masons or Freemasons, whatever. I don't know if they were high, but they were members of the Freemasons. And it was,
Oh my gosh. I just finally focused up again and I heard Freemasons. Are we really doing that?
no, we don't have to. I mean, not on this show. I think we're kind of deep into this one for that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
But I'm just saying, like, in theory, like in that society where things can happen. We were talking about federal land and things like this happening in the states. Is it loud?
What loud?
No, I thought Jonesy had it pulled up over.
What?
The stuff that was in the States.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find, because I did screenshot something the other week when we was talking about it. Oh, there it is.
Is anyone else just looking at his reflection in his glasses to see what he's peeking on?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Oh.
I'm deep diving, but I haven't found like. I mean, I found it, but I'm trying to find something that's presentable.
Well, in theory, let's just talk about, like, in theory, some of the things that.
Oh, here we go. We can do this one.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it pulled up. My thing so the Bennington Triangle up in southwest Vermont.
Okay.
Yeah, they said it's a wooded area where people have gone missing, and about 6 of them disappeared between 1945 and 1950. But there was also the thing that the local lore is that the Bigfoot like creature was there, and they called him the Bennington Monster.
Oh yeah. Okay, that sounds familiar a little bit.
Did they ever find anybody that disappeared?
No.
It's a little different. There were some pretty skilled woodsmen back then that didn't like people. I'll leave it at that.
The thing I screenshot says one first reported sighting of the Bennington Monster occurred in the early 1800s when a stagecoach full of passengers was forced to stop on a washed out road. They seen it. They seen the Bennington Monster.
Well, you could easily convince me that there was massive types of human beings and creatures that once roamed the land. You could easily convince me of that.
Why would that be?
Simply of the facts that have been presented to me over the years. They didn't have this thing called AI in news publications back in like the 1840s.
Right.
That's why. And people just didn't invent figurines to put on a wall for funsies back in the hieroglyphic days either. But
so there it goes. So let's see. So 1945, Mitty Rivers disappeared in November 1945. 74 years old, vanished while hunting in Brickford Hollow, which was about 4 miles west of Bennington and north of Vermont Route 9 near Woodford.
75?
Yeah, 74 years old, yes. It said around 4 p.m. on November 9th. Rivers was seen by friends on a nearby walking trail in the opposite direction of the camp. When he failed to return to that evening, a search party was launched. Extensive searches were conducted that autumn and included volunteers and lost in the region.
See,
The
like
only evidence discovered, however, was his handkerchief found by a hiker the following spring.
these are the ones that are crazy to me. This whole guy,
It is wild.
this
All
ex detective did a whole series called Missing 411, dude, and like, like, like this guy, a 3-year-old boy disappeared while hiking with a group near Big South Trail. This is in Comanche Peak Wilderness, Colorado. A large-scale search was conducted, but only a few remains were found years later, including a tooth and part of a skull. The odd aspect of the case is the discovery of his shoes and clothing in good condition, despite the time elapsed in the harsh conditions. The shoes seem to show no wear, which was puzzling given the terrain.
There's brand new sneakers.
Like, what?
That is, I don't know, man. Some of the stuff just, you have to wonder why, if anything else, right? And that's what this show is about, just makes you draw your own conclusions. This is the fun part, thinking about what happened. You're thankful you're not involved in that situation. Also,
Yeah.
it makes me never want to go camping ever.
So back to this one. 1946, somebody else disappeared. 18-year-old female.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 miles where the first person disappeared in 1945.
I have to ask: are there any young males?
Yeah.
Lots.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. You can go down to in 1950. A special needs child, age of 8, vanished while accompanying his mother on farm chores. At about 3 a.m., she drove to the dump and where they kept the pigs, left him unattended for about 30 minutes while she tended it, and they turned around and he was missing. They searched the dump and the surrounding areas, but bloodhounds later tracked his scent along the adjacent road to an intersection where the trail abruptly ended. It rained and had washed away some of the scent. And while Jepson's father speculated that a driver may have accidentally struck the boy and taken him from the scene in a panic, he was also stated that searchers might have overlooked him in the woods because his brown and tan clothing blended into the fall leaves. So he was never found.
Especially, okay, but still, though, that doesn't prove, like, there's no one like us, or young and able, strong and able to fight.
Right here. In February, 77, 24-year-old man named Stephen Kubacki was cross-country skiing through the snow near Lake Michigan. Once he reached the lake, he took off his skis to sit down and rest. When he got to leave, his own tracks are gone. He became lost. The last thing he remembers was blinking through the snow. Wait, what is this?
Is he alive or dead?
So he hiked to the nearest town and asked the local resident where he was. They told him he was in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, 700 miles away from where he had been skiing.
Holy shit.
His aunt and father lived in Pittsfield, so he knocked on his aunt's door. His family was in shock, hugging him and asking him where he'd been. Kubacki had been missing for 14 months.
Oh, boy.
That's juicy.
The official explanation is he had amnesia and that he was wandering in a fatigue state.
Oh, 14 months, that makes sense.
Yeah, but even doctors are still baffled by the case.
Yeah, because that's not possible to do for 14 months.
No, zero, no.
In February 2018, Canadian man named Danny Philippidis was on a ski trip with some friends in New York around 2 p.m. They had been skiing for hours. They were getting ready to go to the lodge. Danny said he wanted to go one more run. By 4 p.m., Danny was failing to return, and he called a text. They began searching for him, but after being able to find him, they told employees that the lodge is missing. A team of 130 people scoured the mountain without finding him. 6 days later, Philippidis' wife received a phone call. She didn't recognize the number, and it sounded far away and static. It was Danny's voice. He was incoherent and confused, and then hung up the phone. She called the number back and pleaded with him to call 911 for help, so he did. He had no idea where he was. He just described his surroundings. They finally found him. He was still wearing all of his ski gear and in need of medical assistance. He was holding a brand new iPhone, and someone had cut his hair. Somehow, he ended up in Sacramento, California at the airport terminal car rental depot. He was 3,000 miles away from where he disappeared and couldn't remember how he got there. And he had no idea what day it was.
That's intense, man. Could you imagine if, let's just say that happened, like, and that's real. Could you imagine coming to your senses and then someone telling you? That'd be like me, like in Ohio, and me waking up and you're like, I'm like at your house at the pool, like, hey man, you're like, yo, what are you doing here? I don't know. I woke up here. You'd be like, oh, okay. You know? Like it would be. It's on that level of wow. You have to kind of put it in perspective of like what that would really be like. Like if you're like me in Ohio, it'd be like you like wake up in California tomorrow morning.
For
Here's another one.
Went to bed.
In 2014, a doctor named James went on a split snowboard trip in Vail, Colorado. Split snowboards, they can split in half and then you can snowshoe with them.
Okay.
It's like when Jeremy Jones drops those huge mountains. How he gets out to those huge mountains. He came prepared with his cell phone and satellite GPS system. He was much faster than his friends, so he said he would wait for them at the next stop. They lost sight of him and never saw him at any of the stops along the trail. When the search team went looking for him, they found no tracks in the snow that veered off the trail, so they had no idea where he possibly could have gone. 5 days later, his body was discovered 4.5 miles away as the crow flies, which was more than a 14-mile hike, as he would have had to climb up mountains in order to get there. His body was found by two hikers at the bottom of a frozen waterfall. The search party had gone over that area multiple times before, but had never seen him until that day. He was in a strange position, skull crushed, even if he had fallen, as if he had fallen from the sky. He was still wearing full ski suit, but there were no boots on his feet. He had also taken off his gloves. The search and rescue team later found his discarded split snowboard, but they never found his boots. His cell phone and GPS were still working, and he had packed a backup battery as well. Huh.
That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the day, don't go skiing. Jonesy, I'd like to talk to you about your skiing habits.
Watch right here. 1952. A 2-year-old boy. These are the ones that just trip me out. 2-year-old boy Keith Perkins went missing from his home in Ritter, Oregon, in the middle of winter. He had been playing outside with his jacket on, but he was far from equipped to spend the night outside alone. His family and local search party looked for him immediately. They could follow his footprints up to a point before they completely stopped. And there were no other animal or dork tracks nearby. 19 hours later, they found Keith. He was about 15 miles away. He had taken his jacket off and was laying face down in the snow on a frozen pond. Keith was alive. When they asked him why he had run away and how he survived, he said he didn't remember. A survival expert named Les Stroud filmed a segment for the show, documentary to demonstrate
at all.
What?
My Siri just started I looked over, my Siri was flashing like it was listening, and it's been sitting there the whole time, and I did not the screen. I was looked on, I'm like, what notification am I getting? And then Siri was the little blue orb was listening, bro. That's not trippy because it does that. It does that all the time.
So a survival expert named Les Stroud.
No,
I know. Filmed this segment for Missing 411 documentary to demonstrate how impossible it would have been for a 2-year-old to walk that far on his own.
Yeah, that's a long ways, bro.
Well, the crazy part about that is how they did it with no footprints in snow. That's the part that kind of gets me.
Right.
Fly, Mary Poppins, fly. Expicalicaccidocious. I don't know. There's always these wild. I mean, you just hear so much crazy stories, and the stories are just so crazy. It's how do you even make them up? You know what I mean? That's it's
right.
No one has that. I mean, you don't want to say it's not impossible to have that imagination, but it's sometimes when you talk to someone on the street and everyone thinks you're crazy, and then they tell you a story that's so wild and so specific, you're like, I want to think it's true. You know what I mean? I feel it's just one of those situations. And that doesn't mean it automatically makes it true. But you hear something that's so obvious, you're just like, how is it not true? Any Hooters.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like some explanations.
I would like some logically forthright conclusions would be fantastically welcome.
Yeah, how does a 2-year-old get 15 miles away?
I liked how they found the baby, baby Keith, face down on a pond, and he's still cool.
What's up, homies?
What's up?
I like how they found him face down, and they roll him over. He's like, "Hey, I'm good, actually."
Yeah,
I'm just chilling.
It's why were you face down? Actually, I'm curious on that part, Keith.
I was just trying to see through.
Yeah. Looking for fish.
I guess the good news is that if you do get abducted in that situation, you don't remember any of the pain or turmoil you might go through.
Some of them don't live.
I'm saying if you do make it, yeah, I don't know, I'm here.
Bro, listen to me. If I ever end up in some weird city and I can't remember how I got there, you guys need to take me out back and old yeller my ass.
Can't do it. You have to old
yeller.
You got to old yeller yourself. We can't do that.
Bro, I'm probably programmed not to be able to do it to myself anymore.
Well,
it's probably not even the real me anymore.
I'll make up some bullshit story to Kim to make her angry at you, and she can do it. Deal? I don't want that on me. She can do it. I'm sure you've done something.
Nah. I'm
a yeller.
I'm telling you, boys, man, I ain't putting down either of you motherfuckers.
What if I turn into a zombie?
Oh no, we talking.
Put you in it. Hey, remember what was the
you'd put me in a cage and try and keep me alive.
Yeah,
you're a freak.
No,
thank you, homie.
What is the
Double tap to the head. We
movie
zombie
where-
landing this shit.
That's right.
yeah, Zombieland? Is that where like the little British guy? No,
What?
No, that was with Woody Harrelson.
yeah, Zombieland. No, the original with the two British guys, the big guy, the huge fat guy, and like the little tiny
Oh
guy.
no, that was
What?
No, I know
You
what he's talking
know what
about.
I'm talking about though.
Hold
Where at
on.
the end, his buddy, he keeps.
Oh,
the one-
you're talking about the guys who did the Fuzz movie too.
Shaun of the Dead, maybe.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, where his buddy, Sean's buddy, at the end, even though he's a zombie, he still has him in that cage and gives him the PlayStation remote, and they play games in the garage forever. Like, I envision that. That's what I want.
Oh gosh.
Damon, you double tap my ass, please.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to do it. Damon's got you though.
I ain't worried
Bro,
about
I'm telling you, if I am gone for 14 months and end up 3,000 miles away from my last known location, something bad happened, just put me out. Push
Like
me out.
Rodney Carrington. Dear Damon, I don't think I want to live here anymore.
Exactly.
Damon got it. John, do you remember that song? Dear Penis?
And that made the show.
Damon already understood where I was going with. John Z clearly had never heard of that song. Because he would have got the tone of my
I know exactly who Rodney Carrington is, and I know all those songs.
So interesting stuff. You know, at the end of the day,
I'm just fascinated by it all,
You're
man.
having a bad day.
Yeah.
You could have been on one of those trips.
You could have been on D.A.D Pass back in '59.
They've made documentary movies and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
I got to go find Igor.
Dude, that'd be a
he's watching right now.
hell of an interview.
I
Hey,
know
but-
people at that dealership. I might be able to pull some files.
You said too much already.
Bro, yeah, you.
There's no way they would actually.
Ladies and gentlemen,
anybody's gonna let me look. I'm joking.
Jeez, man.
you just got to learn to say the quiet parts inside your head and then tell people later. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for
They don't know
kicking
what
it
dealer
with
group
us.
it was. There's like 8 million of them in Cleveland.
Right. There's a ton of. Never mind. I'm not going to jump on that train.
Yeah.
Join us tomorrow for another foodie show. Damon hooked it up. Going guests again. We're finally back.
What? We're back in the saddle.
Who's the guest?
It's a surprise.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
Damon's choice, man.
Nah, we got JD's Q coming on. Him and his partner.
Sweet garlic is the bomb, and so is the sweet barbecue. I didn't get spicy.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think it's
it's all good. They win awards and take home money at these competitions for a reason.
Mhm.
We about to find out all the secrets of how they do it.
Ooh, all the secrets.
Yep.
Secrets told. All right,
Mhm.
everybody. Well, I appreciate you guys very much as always. Great
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
I'm glad I
Sure.
cannot go to sleep tonight. And I want to go up and make sure my kids are in their beds before they go to bed now after that. So I'm not gonna be I won't be paranoid. I'm fine. It's totally fine. Everything is normal. But
Sorry, my brain's on. I'm writing down topics for the show now. My brain's on fire.
Or
oh
is
boy,
it?
I like it. Well, we got a lifetime of Saturdays to go.
Yeah.
But until next time, we'll see you next time. We love everybody. See you
Mhm.
Sunday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, another foodie show with JD